Well, hey everyone, and welcome back to Stuff We Can Do in Excel. This is Richard, and what we're going to do today is look at 10 new features in the Excel Desktop 2021. There are a lot more features than the 10 I'm going to show you, of course, and I'm not going to talk about any of the new functions. We're just going to talk about features that are built into Excel and that help us to be a little bit more efficient in our work. So the first thing we want to do is talk about the new quick access toolbar names and what it can do for us. You notice I've got my quick access toolbar up here at the top on my screen. You can see it, and it's above the ribbon. I always like to have it below the ribbon, but I want you to notice something. We've got the icons. Here's the save icon and the file icon, and that one's it tells us when we hover over it, it's for a new document. This one is for copy, that one's for paste. I've got all these different tools in here, right? But look what happens when I move this down. I'm going to click on this and I'm going to move it down to below the ribbon. When I move it below the ribbon, it actually now puts the name on each one of these, which can be really helpful because if you're like me, man, you forget sometimes what some of these things mean. Some of these things look awfully similar as you go through here, and having the name beside them will help you to more quickly identify the tool that you want to use. The other thing I want to show you is the quick menu select. This is also in Excel 365. When you go to any cell and you right click it, you're going to see now at the top of the screen an option to search the menus. Often we can't figure out or can't remember what is where on this ribbon. I forget which category something's under, and I search for it and hunt for it. If I just go to here and just type in what I'm looking for as text to columns, it should tell me. It's not telling me there where it is. And maybe we want to look for the format. It's going to tell me that's where format cells is. Maybe I want to look for pivot tables because I can't remember where that is. There it is, pivot chart. I can look for pivot tables. I might want to just look for, table. How do I set up a table? So it's going to give me all the tools I would need to do that, and I can find them very, very quickly using this search menu now, search bar that's built into the drop-down menu. Down below, now 365 had a tool, Excel 365, where it has these three lines right here, and you can click on them and right-click, and it'll show you a menu of all your tabs. Well, that's not here, but it can be gotten to very easily. I mean, it's sort of hidden a little bit, but if you hover over these right and left arrows, see in the bottom left corner, and you right-click on that, it's going to bring up your window that shows you which tabs you're on. You can change tabs that way. Click Go. You can hover over that again, right-click, and go back to the tab that you want. Another tool I want to show you that is in the Excel desktop is the ability to select which tabs you want to unhide. So you've hidden a bunch of tabs. They're hidden down here, and you want to unhide them. Typically, what we do is right-click, and we go unhide, and it would unhide all of them. Now you're going to get a little window that opens up, and you get to choose which ones you unhide. This is not as elegant as the tool that we have in Excel 365 that has all the little buttons. You just click which ones you want to open. If you want to open just one, you just click OK. If you want it to open more than one, you go to unhide, and you're going to hold down the control button, click on each one that you want to unhide, and then hit OK, and it's going to open those back up for you. So the tool is there, but it's a little harder to find in the Excel desktop. Let me show you something else. Really, we open a lot of files directly, but the way we should be opening our files is with a data query. We should be doing a data, get data, and then go get it. And I'll show you a couple of things about that in a moment. But now you can get directly to data query by simply hitting Alt and F12. Alt and F12 will open up your data query for you, data query window, and there it is. And now you can close and load anything you want to load. You can get into this data really, really quickly. So it's a much easier way to get into data query than we had before, simply with Alt and F12. Now, I want to show you now, what do we do if we want to upload data from a PDF file? I had a former student call me and say they were really frustrated. They kept telling their client, I want you to send me the data in an Excel file. And the client would then send them a PDF of the Excel file. Well, that's kind of frustrating because you need it in Excel format. Can you extract that data, or do you have to type it in? The answer is yes, you can extract that data from the PDF file. So what we're going to do is we're going to go up to Data. We're going to click on Get Data and From File. And now under this, you've got a From PDF. This did not exist in Excel 2019. This is a new tool. I can go to PDF File, and it's going to open up, and I'm going to go actually find this file. I happen to know where it is. I'm going to open up the Walmart 10K. And I open that up, and it's going to give me, it takes a minute to open it up, it's going to give me a list of all the different things that are in the Walmart 10K. Anything that could be a visual or a table of data, it's going to open that up for me so that I can then select what I want. So as soon as that opens up, we'll look at it. There it is. I'm going to actually go down. If I remember, the income statement is somewhere around 45. It's somewhere in this area. There you go. It's item 43, actually. I got my revenues. I've got my, see, actually, that's not what I was really looking for. Let's see if I can find it down here. There we go. Well, that's not it either. Let's see here. So there it is. It's actually on table 55. I scrolled through. I looked at each one until I found what I wanted, and there it is. And once I find what I want, I can hit load, and it will load that data now for me into my Excel, and I can now treat it just like any other data that I might want to look at. So this is a really useful tool for us. I was going to, hopefully it would load up for us here. There it is. So now I've got the income statement, and I can look at that income statement for the various periods that are presented. So it's a really, really useful tool to be able to download from a PDF file. What if the data is not here, but the data is on a URL somewhere? So I'm going to actually pull this data up. This is a research project I was working on, and I'm going to open this up, and we're going to go look at let's open this up here. We'll open up so I'm going to type this in. So this was a research project that I was working on, trying to find out what was it that prompted over 2,000 of the great British manor houses to be destroyed over the last 200 years. And I actually found this list on the internet, and down below here you can see it's got a list of all of them and the reasons for which they were all destroyed. Now I wanted to analyze this, but it's not in a very good format for doing that, so I'm going to save that URL, and I'm going to go back into my Excel, and when I do that, I'm going to do data, get data from other sources, and I'm going to go from the web. It's going to ask me for the URL, and I'm going to give the URL, paste it in there, hit OK. And what it's going to do now is it's actually going to go find that data on the web. It's going to take that data and upload it for me into Excel. Actually, it's going to give me a list of the options I have. What types of things might I want to look at? In this case, there's just 3 items that are going to pop up. And there they are. I'm looking for this table. This is the table I want to look at. It tells me, and I hit load. And what I'm going to get is a tab that shows me all of this data in a really nice Excel table. Now, there's still some cleanup that would need to be done, but this is really, really good data, and it's a tool I can now use to go in and analyze this data to see what kind of patterns I might be finding in the patterns of destroying these particular British manor houses. So it's a really useful tool to me that you can now go get data from a URL and load it right up into Excel. The next thing I want to show you as we go through this is I want to show you the new accessibility tool. So this is really cool. So what I've got here is I've got some data, and I want to test the accessibility of this data. Does it meet all the accessibility requirements of the Americans with Disabilities Act or any other accessibility law that's out there? So I click on Review, and there's now a tool under here called Check Accessibility. Now this tool has been here before, but it now has new functionality that did not exist before. Not only is it going to open up a window up for me over here on the right, but it's actually going to give me a whole new toolbar I can use. So when I go check accessibility, not only did it give me this here, but look, it gave me a whole bunch of tools I can use to fix my accessibility problems. So I can check the spelling, I can work on fill, font colors. If it tells me that I've got a problem with some fonts, I can change that. I can look at table styles. There's a lot of things I can change to help alleviate the accessibility issues that were identified over here on the far right. So that's going to be a really, really useful tool for me. Now, I mentioned earlier that sometimes people will email an Excel file as a PDF, and you might actually have a reason that you would want to email an Excel file as a PDF file. So the way you would do that is we're going to go to our toolbar, our customized toolbar, and we're going to click the down arrow. We're going to go down to More Commands, and when we get to More Commands, we're going to go to All Commands, and we're going to go down, once we get there, all the way down to Email. And under Email, one of the tools is, if I can get there, I can find it there, Email as PDF Attachment. I hit Add, and now I have a tool up here that allows me, and there it is, I can email this now. If I want to email this as an attachment, I don't have to now save it as a PDF, then do an email, and then go find the PDF. All I got to do is click right here. It's going to ask me, it's going to convert it to a PDF file. It's going to ask me where I want to send it, and I just send the thing. It's so much easier to do now in this particular format than it was before. So see, it's going to take you to Excel Outlook I got Outlook 2016. I'm sure there's newer ones, but it takes you there, and you can email this without having to save the file, then go find the file, and it's just a whole lot easier to do it this way than it used to be. There is now a translator tool. So if we go to here's this data. Remember we had the immersible reader in the others. Now we've got something called a translator. So we're going to find this. We're going to go to Review, and we're going to go to Translate, this button that shows up here now in Excel for Desktop. And you click on that. It's going to ask you, you're in one language, and we want to change it to another language. So actually I've got to highlight the text that I want it to translate. So I've done that. Now I'm going to have it. I want to translate, and look at it, it just translated it right into French for me. Now this isn't quite as good as the immersible reader because it doesn't actually read it out loud for me, but the text is there in case somebody has some text and they can't read it. What if you got some text in French or in Spanish and you needed to read it? You can convert it to English so that you can read that text really easily using the translator tool. The final thing I want to show you is the new feedback tool that's available. It's a little bit more helpful than it used to be. So we click Help, and then you go to Feedback. And the feedback tool is going to allow you to give different kinds of feedback very quickly, very easily. You can give a compliment, report a problem, or make a suggestion to Microsoft, and it goes directly to Microsoft. Much easier and user-friendly tool than it used to be. So there you go. 10 new features in Excel Desktop 2021. Hopefully you find this useful. Hopefully there's some tools in there that will make your day a little bit better and a little bit easier. Hope you all have a great day. If you like this video, make sure and like the video below with the thumbs up button. Also, we invite you to subscribe to the channel and click the bell so that anytime we make a new video, you'll get notice of that new video. Have a great day. We'll see you soon.